Hey guys, Romie here. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're a first time viewer, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you very much. Please like and comment on this video. This is my recap, my review for Queen Sugar. Of course, Season 1, Episode 2. The episode is entitled Evergreen. Now the episode starts off with Nova. Nova's actually, she's in her little garden area, and she's planting a new, just a little plant, and I'm thinking, is that supposed to represent her father? I'm not sure, you know, growth, renewal. You know, she's a very, like, earthy, herbal type of person, spiritual. Now, guess who comes over? Her married guy. Her married guy comes over because it's like he found out that the father died, and he wants to know when's the funeral, what time's the funeral, what date's the funeral. She's like, no, this isn't going to work. And the reason why she's apprehensive of telling him is because of the fact that he is married. She knows that this relationship can't get too deep because he's not trying to leave his wife and kids. So, and neither should he. So she's just like, you know what, you don't have to worry about this stuff. You don't have to concern yourself with this stuff. He's telling her, look, I'm here because I loved your father. He was a good man, and I love you. So I'm going to be there. You need to tell me when. You can rely on me. You know, even though you know this isn't going to work out in the end, you can still rely on me. Okay. So she ends up breaking down and saying, you know, Saturday. It's on Saturday. I forgot what time, but it's on Saturday. It's Saturday, like midday. So, of course, they kiss, and she has that longing look of, thank you. But I know this still isn't going to work, but thank you anyway. Now, we get to Charlie. Charlie, she's back at her father's house, and she's looking through things, and she's looking through old photos. She hears Ruckus. She hears Ruckus outside, and Sam, Mr. Landing, is outside. Mr. Landing, he gives me, you know, sleazy business guy. I grew up in the area, but then I came up, and it's not that I was necessarily poor like some of the other people here, but I buy up all the lands and do whatever I want with the property. He goes and speaks to Charlie as if he's like, oh, well, you know, I came over because, you know, first off, your father was a good man. Second off, he got her name incorrectly. I forgot what he called her, but yeah, we can say Charity. But no, of course, her name's Charlie. Anyway, I have this for you. You know, take my card. Let me know what you think. I'm interested in buying the property. I want to actually speak with you about it. And she's like, wait a minute. You know that you were thinking no one was going to be here. That's why you got your men here. That's why you didn't knock on the door. You didn't do any of that. So stop playing. But he goes and leaves. Then we see Nova. She's in this nice building. And I'm thinking this building has cubicles and all of that. I'm looking at this place like, wait a minute, Nova, I can't see Nova working in a place like this. And she doesn't. She's a freelance reporter, freelance writer. Now, she got called in because her boss wanted to see, talk about her story and getting on the front page. And she's thinking, wait a minute, what do you mean? I pitched you story after story about things that matter, like the poisoned water, like the illiteracy, like this, like that, and you don't want to talk about all of that. So why are you here? You know my father just died. So it's like, yeah, I know, condolences, thanks, but why am I here? Yeah, I'll cut to the chase. You're here because of the fact that I'm your sister's husband, Davis West. Yeah, I know that your sister is down here, so I need you to go and give me whatever information you have regarding her and the family situation, because that's going to be front page news. And she said, hold up. First, when did we become the gossip column? And it's like, well, we became them since they started to generate more money than us. You know, money, money, money. Second, she said, you really think that I'm going to sell out my family? My father just died, and you really think I'm going to sell out my family? You call me when you have something of worth, something reputable, something real and true to discuss with me instead of this BS. Do not waste my gas money, because you know I'm not making much. Anyway. We have Ralph Angel. He's in the kitchen with Aunt V, Aunt Violet, and they're just discussing, okay, is Blue coming to the funeral or is he not? Blue, as of now, isn't coming to the funeral. Why? Because Ralph Angel's like, you know, a child shouldn't have to be exposed to something like that. I don't want my son to be exposed to that mess at the impressionable age that he's at. Aunt V's just looking at him like, boy, you don't even know what you're talking about half the time, so why am I going to go and listen to you? This is how Aunt V is just like, child, you know I'm the one that's actually been taking care of Blue, and you really think I'm going to steer him in the wrong direction compared to someone like you. But okay. Anyway, we have Micah, who's on his phone, and he, of course, he's just online. Well, it's one of two things. One, his father's been contacting him, kept trying to call him, kept trying to speak with him regarding, where are you? Where are you? Because remember, they just packed up and left, so he has no idea. Two, he's on the internet looking at all the things that people are saying about him. So Aunt V's trying to console him while they're listening to, you know, people just clown his family and his father. And then the mom comes in, you know, Charlie comes in. So they cut off the audio, and it's just like, okay, so I'm going to need you to go and get some air because you've just been locked up in this house. It's like, girl, if only you knew. That phrase annoys me. Girl. Anyway, we get past that, and Charlie's trying to figure out, okay, what can she do to contribute? She went through her father Ernest, his things, and what's the father's friend's name? Remy. Yeah. So she's just like, okay, Remy. This Remy guy seemed pretty close. It's like, yeah, they were close. Very close. And she also did notice that her father's in a lot of debt, but we won't talk much about that. But she's going to go meet with Remy instead of Ralph Angel doing so. And right before the scene ends, we actually see Micah. He's looking down at his phone because his father's calling him again, and he has to decide if he's going to accept the call or decline the call. Now, as you know, when you decline the call, it goes straight to voicemail. He declines the call, at least as of now. Now, right now, we have Ralph Angel, Nova, and Violet looking through all the pictures to see what's an appropriate picture for the father's probably eulogy, pamphlets, like all of that. Now, here comes... Oh, this scene was shady. That's another annoying word, shady. This scene was a mess because you have Charlie come in, and Charlie is just like, oh, who's the flowers from? Your mother. Her mother? Not your mother? Oh, okay, so that explains why she doesn't look like you two. You guys are melanin out, and she is lacking, extremely lacking in melanin. So that explains a lot. I want to know the backstory regarding that. You know, the different parents. Now there we go. That's another thing that they didn't even really touch on. You just saw their Nova and Ralph Angel's, the looks that they gave to each other, like, her mother. Now, like I said, Charlie's trying to figure out what can she do, and she's like, the pamphlets, the tables, the casket, everything. They have it all covered. They have every detail covered, and so you can tell that Charlie felt hurt because it's just like, they're doing this without me. I'm supposed to be family too, but they're not treating me that way. That's what happens when you leave and you don't really talk to your siblings. They borderline ostracize you. That happens in every family when one of the members leave and then try to come back and pretend like everything's the way that it was, even though it never really is. Now, we're at school. We're at Blue's school, and Blue doesn't want to give up Kenya. Who's Kenya? Kenya is his doll, his Barbie doll, and so it's just like, no, Kenya, I want Angel knew better. He was like, no, we're not doing that. What, don't you think Kenya would have more fun with me if she were to hang out with me for the day and we watch TV? And, you know, I'll make sure that she watches the appropriate stuff. It's just like, okay, Kenya doesn't like the big boy movies, so don't show her that. It's just like, okay, baby. Now, while in the middle of that conversation, we have Raina, his teacher, come out, and she again distracts him by she's so awesome. I love Raina. Yeah, and Raina distracts him by asking him, you know, who's the first Hispanic male astronaut, who's the first Hispanic female astronaut. After he got those questions right, she's like, great, and go inside. And of course, Ralph Angel's saying, thank you, I appreciate you, you're the best. And she's just like, no, Blue's awesome, he has great genes, love the kid. And it's just like, oh, great genes, thank you. So they're flirting with each other. I'm waiting for them to get together. He better not get together with his ex. I'm gonna be pissed. Anyway, he tries to ask her, you know, with the funeral happening on Saturday, do you think it's possible to watch him? I'm thinking, is this even allowed normally in school for the teachers to go and do whatever? This is a TV show, whatever. So she's just like, no, I actually have, I teach on Saturdays as well. It's just like, oh, okay, no problem. It's just like, of course, though, if that wasn't the case, I'd happily do it. And he's just like, no, I know, I appreciate you, Ma. Now, Charlie goes and she meets up with Remy. She's astonished because Remy is not some 60-something-year-old man. No, Remy looks more like a 30-something-year-old man. And Charlie's just like, no. Hey. That's how Charlie was. I'm like, Charlie, get it together. You're still married, get it together. Stop it now. Anyway, so they have a conversation, and he talks about how, yeah, he did know that he was, Ernest was going through financial difficulty. He didn't know the details. He did, of course, know that the farm wasn't producing crops for the last 2 years. And I'm thinking, did anyone tell Charlie about that? Because I'm starting to think no one informed her about that piece. So when she looked and she saw the debt that was accumulated, now it makes sense. Now, aside from that, she also wants to go and let it be known that this guy, Landon, he went and wanted to do something business-wise, taking over the farm or the land. And Remy said, nope. Here's my number. We can talk at a later time about all of that. We cannot do this here. Clearly, Landon runs the town. He runs the town. He runs probably the immediate area. And so the best thing for them to do is not talk about things like that. Now, they go and they meet with the funeral director, and they need to go and pick out a casket. First, they have to get the price. Now, of course, Charlie has money to blow, so she has no issue just giving the American Express black card. She has a black card. I looked. And just saying, you know, put all of this. We want the best type of thing. That's what she was trying to do. We have Nova, who's street smart. So this is like, hold up. We are not just going to go and hand over free money like that. No, that's not what we're going to do. So she haggles with him, and she cuts down like $1,500 off the price. And then you have, like I said, Charlie going saying, you know what, no problem. I got this covered. Let's just pay for it on my card. He's saying, oh, okay, perfect. This is going to be amazing. Nova said, no, we're going to split this. We're going to split this. And that's when Ralph Angel said, we'll split this 3 ways. I'll pay my portion. They're both looking at him like, no, it's okay, it's cool. We don't have to do that. He's just like, no, I'll do it. This is for Pops. I'll get the money. Don't worry about it. I'm thinking, where are you going to get... He keeps talking about getting money. I'm thinking, does he have a settlement coming on? Why does he keep talking like he's going to get a lot of money soon? Lord Jesus, I hope he doesn't do anything else that's too stupid. Now, what ends up happening is Charlie is going to pay half. She's going to cover Ralph Angel's half, and then the rest are going to be distributed $300 each on all of Nova's cards. I'm like, dang, $300 each? She must have those secured cards, because that's usually the minimum limit on a secured card, $300 So, anyway, now they're looking at caskets, and, you know, they're trying to decide which one works best for the father. Nova's just like, you know, our father was the leader. He was the commander. He was our, Black Oak. He was our knight. He deserves the best. He's going back to the light, so his casket needs to be white. I was just like, look at you being so deep. Look at you being so deep. Now, aside from that, when they went to go and kind of consecrate his casket and put stuff inside of it, they were like, we are a good... He was like, wait. He went from talking like how I talk to, we are a good Christian... What? Hey, yo, what do you think you do? We are a good Christian company with our values. You're not gonna go and do any voodoo magic stuff like that. We're not playing those games. Everyone gave him, all three of them gave him this look. And what do you think you're gonna do about it? He was just like, oh, nothing. Carry on. Yeah, cheerio. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I need to go and look up the boy who plays Blue, because he almost sounds like comes from like one of his parents is maybe from like the UK or from Europe, because I'm hearing an accent. I don't know what type, but I'm definitely hearing one. Anyway, we have originally Blue was talking to Micah, and Micah got a call from his dad. So Blue was just like, you know, that's your dad. You need to go and talk with him. I was just like, oh, how cute. If only you knew why you shouldn't have done that. He goes, he picks up the phone, and he's just like, what's up? Dad's just like, I've been trying to call you. Where are you? Where are you? It's like, we're fine. You know that Grandpa died. Grandpa died? That means you're at so-and-so's house. Okay, I'm on my way. He's like, look, click. It's like, oh, crap. I didn't mean to do that. Now, that's an interesting dynamic, because at this point, we just saw him going into the room and slapping the girl in the butt, but we don't know if he actually had sexual relations with her. So that is something we do need to keep in mind. Now, we move past that to Nova asks Charlie how she's doing, and not with regards to their father, but with her husband, because Charlie knows what's going on back home. And she was just like, well, you know, it's crazy, because I almost feel like I want him to go and end up right next to Dad. And Nova said, don't you ever say anything like that ever again. Don't you ever speak anything like that on someone. Don't you... I mean, she was livid. Rightfully so, because, you know, we take those phrases and terminology and we don't think much of it. But in real life, that happens all the time, where you say, this person will be dead, or this or that, and next thing you know, the person's gone. So she's very like, no, we do not put anything in the universe that we don't want to actually happen. So, and you can tell these sisters are like oil and water. It's not just that they don't get along, it's that they're completely different. They're so different. Now, of course, they have to go and get the food, so it's going to be seafood. They're mainly getting fish and crabs. And again, it was cool. It was really interesting to watch Nova haggle and, you know, look at the product and all of that. And I'm thinking, wow, this is different. This is different. This is cool. And it's funny, because you would have thought that Charlie wasn't familiar with that, because Charlie almost made it seem like she had no idea what was going on either. It's just like, girl, you haven't left here. You haven't been gone for that long. So I don't know why you're acting brand new. And we see that's going to be a major conflict between the two. Anyway, Ralph Angel, he goes and he calls up Blue's mom, because he needs someone to watch Blue on Saturday. And they make a deal. So it's like, you need to come here by 11 a.m. No later than 11 a.m. You got 11 a.m. You got it? I got it. You got it? I got it. You got it? I got it. Okay. Okay. And of course she's super happy. He hangs up the phone before she can get any words out. Talking to Nova, and Nova wants to know how Violet's doing, because Violet is doing really well as far as keeping everything together and handling everything. So she just needs to check in on her aunt. Now, here's the issue. Hollywood comes outside and she's like, wait a minute, what are you guys doing here? What are you guys doing? It's like, no, it's okay. It's just like, you need to get your butts out of here. He's saying, no, the one was saying, no, this is all paid for. This is catering. Excuse me. Charlie West paid for this. It was just like, Nova runs inside, just like, Charlie, what are you doing? What do you mean, what am I doing? What are you doing? How are you doing this to us? You know what? You come in, you try to change everything, you try to run everything. We go and we prepare the food and we serve the food because it is soul food. We are serving it so that it can appease and please people's souls, because people will be hurting and they should only be served by family. People who actually mean something to them, not some randos in some tux with some random chairs and all of that. That's not tradition. You know how we do things, and yet you're trying to go and impart all this other worldly stuff on us. We don't want that over here. And you know, one side of me was thinking, dang Nova, you were going in, and it was a lot. And even Aunt Violet had this look of, ooh, you want to simmer down a little bit? Because Nova, as soon as she said it, you could tell she felt a little bad. She felt a little bad. It wasn't that she was wrong or that she thought she was wrong, but maybe just how it came out, because they've just been teetering around it for so long. And Charlie felt instantly bad. Charlie looked like she wanted to bust out crying, because at one point you saw Charlie's look, she was like, because she knew she messed up. She knew that she overstepped. She knew that her family was. And aside from that, now it's nighttime and we see Aunt Violet. She's in the boat. Hollywood comes through because they need to have a talk. And the conversation is this. Now the boat is in their backyard, but the conversation is this. Violet's just like, you know, my family life is crazy right now, and I completely understand if you want out. And that's not why she's really saying it. It's funny how, not funny, but interesting how it just seems like the family started to come apart or come undone as soon as the father died. And that happens a lot of times in family, where there's someone who's like the linchpin. As soon as it's taken out, everything else crumbles. But for her, the issue is that she sees how Hollywood and how good he is with Blue, and the fact that Hollywood wanted kids before. She can't give him kids. And so she's like, you know what? I'll happily set you free if that means that you can be happy and do what you want to do. She just can't do the kids thing. So he said, you know, first off, I love you and I am exactly where I want to be. So that's it. And it's just like, oh, that's so cute. And they interlock fingers and hands. And then we see Micah come through. He's just like, do you have a basketball? And they're looking at him like, boy, do you think that we just live in the woods and eat twigs? So they take him to the school. And I'm thinking, okay, now something just seems off here. Why is he just there by himself? He's not, because Davis, who is his father, is there too. Davis wanted to meet with him. So that's the spot that he chose to meet. Now, Davis is trying to convince him that, you know, he didn't do it. Davis is like, I know what it looks like, but I did not do it. I didn't do it. And I just want you to come home. I want your mom to come home. I want to explain everything. I want things to be back the way that they were. The mom, of course, followed, knew where he was supposed to be. So she comes through and it's like, hold up. Why are you two, what is going on here? What is going on here? And she's not going at Micah. She's going at Davis. It's like, you really went behind my back to go and talk to our son. So it's like, yeah, because you took our son without my permission. And I'm like, Lord Jesus, is there going to be a custody battle? Because I think he's in high school, so they can still do that. But Davis, you know, in a plea to try and get his family back, he takes out his first ring that he won for basketball, championship ring. He takes it out. He's just like, you know, I was so proud that day. I was so proud to be a father. I was so proud to be a husband. I was so proud to be a winner. I mean, and that was the issue. It's all I. me, I. You can't have something like that when you're talking about trying to make good with someone. He's still making everything about him. He doesn't understand the concept of this is bigger than you. Your family is hurt by it. Because he's just like, you know what, I need you. And it's just like, yeah, but I don't need you. And that's when the mom's just like, okay, enough of this. We're done. We're leaving. Stay there. Stay there. We're leaving. We see Ralph Angel. He's getting ready. And he's getting the haircut. Blue wants a haircut too because he wants to look nice for his mom. Now we see his mom. She's trying to get ready. She's getting all dolled up so that she can hang out with her baby. And she looks nice. Now, her boss basically told her, look, I don't care what the original arrangement was. The person who's filling in for you has to fill in somewhere else. So it's either you stay there and do your job or you're fired. And we know a lot of jobs like that where it's if you don't stay and do the work, that means that everything will crumble. That means that you will be axed on the spot. And I felt really bad because this happens all the time with someone who's finally starting to, trying to do right, and there's obstacles in their way, and so they have to make decisions like, okay, what's going to work best for them. So we see Ralph Angel, he's about to do Blue's hair, and then Ralph goes and talks to Violet because Blue let it be known that he's going to see his mom today, that his mom's going to pick him up. Violet's pissed because she's saying Blue should have the right to go and say goodbye to his grandfather, you know, instead of being with his mom who hasn't really been there for him all this time. Like, what are you really doing? And he's just like, I don't want my son to be around things like that, to be around things like death and pain and all of that. And she said, you know what, that's your problem. You want to coddle him. He does not need coddling. He needs a reality check, because the reality is, if he doesn't get a reality check starting now, the world is going to hit him hard. Look at you. It's just like, what about me? Your father coddled you, his firstborn son, his only son, and because of that, he treated you like gold, protected you from everything, and look at where it got you. Look at what happened. It's just like, excuse me? What do you mean, look at what happened? You became a person who essentially felt like he was entitled to the world. When the world said, we're not going to go and just give you what you want, then everything fell through on your end. And we see that Blue's mom, she is really trying to get off of work, but the line's piling up, and so she's frustrated. She can't even call to say that she won't be there because she has a job to do. And I'm sure if enough people complain, she'll lose her job. Ralph Angel's pissed. He's just like, alright, we're going to have to do the unthinkable. I'm going to have to take you to the funeral. Because that's the one thing he didn't want to do. He would rather have his son go be with his mom than go to this funeral. That's how you know how much he doesn't want Blue at the funeral. Poor baby Blue. Anyway, we're at the church, and guess who pops up? We see Charlie. She's actually putting out the, I don't want to say the itinerary, putting out the pamphlets, you know, that discuss the life of Ernest. And her husband, Davis, comes through. He comes through, and we're just like, dude, this is messed in the church, really? So she takes it out of the church. I'm so glad they were respectful enough to take it out of the church. Shout out to them and the colors. Like, even the colors look so rich. Like, I know that's supposed to be like a dark green, and the church is white, and then you have the lighter green with the foliage also. It's nice. And she's wearing black. I mean, she's wearing white, he's wearing black. It's just so, it's nice. Everything's just so nice. Like, even the bad areas, it just looks so nice and clean and crisp. HD. Anyway. And the acting is superb on this show, I must say. It's superb. It's, no one is a weak actor. You feel the emotion. You feel the lip quiver when Charlie was talking to her ex when she was in the gym. You felt it when Nova was cursing out. Well, you know, not cursing out, but yelling at Charlie. Everyone is killing it. Even all the kids, especially Blue, killing it. Killing it. So shout out to them, because you know there's some shows where either the script is weak, so the acting, it makes it seem like people are overacting, or some of the actors aren't really actors, and so you have to kind of dull the show down a little bit for everyone to catch up. And then there's the reality shows that have the people who constantly act, and they just get paid for pretending like that's their real life. Anyway, we're back to Davis and Charlie. Davis is just like, you know what? I'm here for you. It's not what you think. I love you. I love your father too. So I love your family. We are family. You need me. And oh Lord, I was so disappointed when Davis was able to embrace Charlie while she was crying. But then she got together. She got together. She was having a weak moment, because it's just like she has to mourn the death of a marriage and the death of her father. It's just too much. It's too much. But then she got together and she went back into the church. Now, Romie, he's, giving a eulogy for his friend Ernest at the funeral. And he was talking about a situation where the workers were complaining about, it's too hot, it's too hot. He was just like, you need to go and drink something, get a fan, and get back to work, because we need to get this done. He's just saying the type of person that he is. And, Violet was crying. Hollywood was consoling him. Everyone else looked down. I love when they took out the, what was it, like, the poinsettias and placed it on the casket. That was really... Blue's mom showed up. Blue's mom showed up, and I felt mixed feelings, because, no, let it be. Let it be for now. And then I had to think about it. I was like, but she showed up. She took the initiative because she knew that they would be at the funeral, and she showed up. And Blue was so happy. So that's all that matters. She showed up. She's putting in effort. She's trying. She's trying to get it together. So, and Blue is young enough to where some damage control can be done. So, we just have to let it be. We have to let it be. And then we saw that Nova was happy because her guy was there. The married guy was there. And also even Davis. Davis was in the back too. Now, Nova goes and she holds her sister and her brother's hand, because in solidarity, like, we're going to get through this together. Now, the previews for the rest of the season look crazy, because it looks like, I don't know, did it look like Charlie was going to be potentially pregnant or something? I don't know. That's what I got from it. Amongst some other things, it looks like Ralph Angel's going to possibly try and get back together with Blue's mom. It looks like it's a lot. It's a lot. This show is so good. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week. Watch